This is Slippery Road Battles, where fear is not an option, where every mission is a showdown between man, machine, and the unforgiving earth beneath their wheels. No guardrails, no second chances, only precision or collapse. Midnight. The town sleeps, but this beast moves. A 5-axle Volvo FH16, forged for extremes, hauling a single blade of wind energy across narrow city roads. Over 60 meters of steel and precision, steered by men who measure every turn in millimeters. This is not just transport. This is choreography at 2 a.m. Red lights flash, engines whisper, and the blade, like a sleeping dragon, glides through the darkness. Power meets purpose. This is the art of the impossible. The rain didn't stop, but neither did Alex. Behind schedule, behind hope, and with everything on the line, he had to deliver. Through mud, through storm, his truck clawed uphill, black smoke choking the mountain air. But what goes up must come down, and downhill is hell. Brakes faded, steering slipped, gravity took over. In those seconds, he thought of nothing but his wife and let fate take the wheel. But fate showed mercy. The truck came to rest, one heartbeat away from the edge. Alex sat in silence, not victorious, just grateful. This is more than a delivery. It's a lesson. No job is worth a life. No deadline more important than coming home. In the heart of Springfield, Massachusetts, a 19th century church stood still until history demanded a shift. Using 68 steel beams, 20 hydraulic jacks, and 14 industrial dollies, they didn't just move a building. They carried a legacy. 122 meters of precision. Every inch a heartbeat. Every turn a vow to preserve the past. Why do you think this car can't pass this challenge? Is it a weak engine or a problem with the tires? Midnight in Minnesota. Wind chill, -35. A 540,000-pound transformer, part of the CapEx 2020 Power Initiative. On the move. Loaded weight, 1.2 million pounds. 385 feet long. 48 axles. 192 tires. This is not a truck. This is a rolling power station. It crawls 41 miles through snow and silence, bringing stable voltage to the heart of the Midwest. Every inch matters. Every bridge, every bend. Calculated. At 2,300 hours on frozen roads, America's energy grid moves forward. we joined a thunderous parade of diesel titans. Horns blaring, engines growling, fans lining the streets. Dozens of competition rigs rolling as one threw on away. And this? This was only the beginning. Subscribe now, because up next, the full pulls, head-to-head battles, behind-the-scenes chaos, and a Scania ready to prove it belongs with the legends. A deadly descent, a single mistake, and it's over. The truck, loaded with timber, creeps into a hairpin curve. Brakes groan, tires strain. He turns, then backs, then turns again. One wrong move, and dozens of tons could tumble into the abyss. But this is no ordinary road, and he's no ordinary driver. This is where fear meets focus, and only the brave get through. One turn, no second chance. It was supposed to be just another climb. But then came the turn, sharp, merciless. One side, solid cliff. The other, a drop so deep it swallows sound. And in between, a gas tanker, loaded and heavy, struggling for balance. Steel groaned, tires slipped. For one terrifying moment, everything hung by inches. And then it happened. A Fuso truck rolled in. Wrong place, worst time, right at the choke point. The narrow hairpin turn, the only escape route for the Hino in crisis. The Fuso stalled, tires locked, frame twisted. It jammed the turn like a cork in a bottle. Now the Hino was trapped. The Fuso was stuck, and the margin for error gone. 2 trucks, 1 cliff, 0 options. What was already a rescue just became a full-blown crisis. The road was choking with steel and mud. They called in the strongest Fuso they had, but the red clay held firm. No movement, no mercy. Then it happened. Snap! The cable whipped, the rescue stalled, and every face wore the look of helplessness. They brought in the excavator. It roared to life, raw power against nature's pull. Rescue teams moved in. Each second, a calculation. Each move, a gamble. And every inch forward was a war against the slope. Share this moment, because awareness isn't just knowledge. Sometimes it's the reason someone makes it home. What would you do in a moment like this? Drop your thoughts below. The Fuso was free. One push, one pull. The excavator and a second truck worked in sync, and inch by inch, the Hino climbed out of the jaws of death. Just as the sun dipped below the ridge, headlights took over the mountain. After a day frozen in fear, the road finally breathed again. Horns echoed, smiles returned. The bottleneck was broken, and traffic came back to life. What would you do in a moment like this? Drop your thoughts below. Do you think this wood truck can pass this test? "50 feet wide, over 15 tons, 3,200 miles in 1 month. This massive electromagnet is on a journey from New York to Fermilab, Illinois, moving at just 15 miles per hour on its final leg. Floated by sea, pushed upriver, and now crawling by road. Every inch planned, every turn calculated. At $3.5 million, reusing it was smarter than building new. This isn't speed, it's precision in motion." You keep asking me why these people are exploiting such small trees? Well, because they have already exploited all the big trees.
Terupus bosku, aduh, habis napas, alah, super great, habis napas,
It was early morning. Fog still clung to the hills of Torgamba. A massive Fuso intercooler tanker, growled its way up the steep incline. Locals watched in silence as the truck strained against gravity, its wheels spinning, its engine screaming. Then, a violent shudder. The truck began to tilt, and in just seconds, it lost control. It flipped, tumbling sideways across the narrow road, crushing everything in its path. Logs spilled, metal twisted, debris flew like shrapnel. For a moment, we thought it would explode. Smoke hissed from the engine. The cabin lay crushed. The driver was unconscious, rushed to the hospital, clinging to life. The highway? Completely blocked. A steel beast lying across the road, as if claiming the mountain for itself. This happened on the infamous Frog Hill, in the heart of Sikampak, North Sumatra, and I was there to witness it all. The road was paralyzed. Chaos unfolded as crowds of curious onlookers flooded the scene. Police sirens wailed, rescue crews scrambled. Then, a glimmer of hope. A second Fuso truck, strong, relentless, was brought in to pull the wrecked vehicle aside and clear the way. But fate wasn't done with us yet. As the cable tightened, a sudden spark, then smoke and fire. The wrecked truck began to burn. Gasps, screams, panic spread like wildfire. But the locals, they didn't run. They fought back. Buckets, sand, bare hands. In moments, they put out the flames. It was close, too close, because this time, the truck wasn't carrying fuel. But imagine if it was. Just imagine the destruction, the tragedy, the lives lost. Drop your thoughts below. What if that blaze was an inferno? After hours of tension, the wreck was finally dragged aside, and the road freed at last. Cars rolled again, but the fear still lingered in the air. The road ahead is not easy. With this uncontrolled massive exploitation, the forest will soon disappear. A massive cat excavator, a German man truck built like a war machine. The load? Heavy, but not a problem. The road? Clear, until it wasn't. A bridge? Low, too low for comfort. But there was no turning back. The driver didn't blink. He crouched low in the seat, watching every inch. Gas feathered. Brakes tapped. The giant bucket crept beneath the concrete throat of the overpass. Millimeters. That's all he had. Metal nearly kissed concrete. One scrape, and it's over. But luck favored the brave. The cat made it. And the man delivered its iron friend to the site. Complete. Not just a transport. This was a ballet in steel. Welcome back to another episode of Slippery Road Battles. Today, we explore some of the most impressive tech events happening around the world on the small screen. When Titans Fall, the Orion Y incident. In May 2020, the port of Rostock became the stage for one of the most shocking collapses in offshore engineering history. The Orion Y, DME's state-of-the-art vessel, had just been equipped with a 5,000-ton Liebherr heavy lift crane. During a routine test, 175 meters of hoisting height, 35 meters of outreach, and thousands of tons simulated, the unthinkable happened. The hook failed, and with it, and the entire crane came crashing down. Steel twisted, systems failed, and the giant fell. No lives were lost, but the message echoed across the industry. Even titans have limits.
哦，掉了，太可怕。
Steel, steam, and altitude. Up here, the air is thin, but the steam engines breathe deep. On the legendary Brockenbahn, classic mallet locomotives from 1898 and 1918 still pull with pride, climbing the highest peak in northern Germany. 2 locomotives, 1 mountain. With over a century of engineering behind them, they conquer ice, snow, and steep grades, dragging tons of steel through the winter wilderness. Their power? Pure steam. Their sound? Timeless. On this day, they aren't just trains. They're legends moving through snow and sky.
Đừng vào gần nhá.
No, 2 titans, 1 mission. They left Göttingen with steel in their engines and 100 tons of rotor steel behind them. 2 Mercedes-Benz Actros SLT V8s linked to a 21-axle modular trailer built for one purpose, to deliver the impossible. They crawled through narrow streets, twisted through hairpin turns, ducked under low bridges, and did it all while the rain kept coming. It didn't stop. Neither did they. Through villages, through storms, through day and night. And in the end, they reached Kriens. Not just on schedule, but with a story written in diesel, determination, and grit. They trust the cable absolutely. Oh my God, all my wealth is gone with you. Precision, power, Weltführer. They don't just move cargo, they move milestones. Today, Switzerland's elite heavy transport crew, Weltführer, takes on a mission that weighs more than a Boeing 747, 490 tons, 3 Mercedes-Benz 8x6 tractors, Over 1,500 horsepower combined, 22 axle modules, and a route that laughs at convenience, tight corners, uneven gradients, roads that weren't built for monsters like this. But for Weltführer, that's just another day on the job. With engineers trained for precision down to the millimeter and teamwork so smooth it feels choreographed, they roll forward with quiet confidence. From Bur to Basel, this isn't just transport. It's a demonstration of what happens when discipline meets horsepower. This is Weltführer, and this is what mastery looks like. Many people say that Chinese trucks are weak when it comes to off-roading, but that's not the case today. In front of you is a Chinese-made truck that shows its strength in a truly impressive way. Where did this come from? The manufacturer must have glued it together with glue. Oh, are these guys kidding? Or are they doing this to get help? A Chinese Hawo truck is showing its power climbing the hill, but there is nothing to fear because it is not carrying any goods and the tires are equipped with chains to grip the road. I am not impressed by this performance and it is too boring. Look what happened to this truck. Fortunately, nothing happened as both drivers handled the situation in time. Drivers should be careful when driving on narrow roads with many blind spots like this. Slow down and look more carefully. People were right when they said that Chinese trucks cannot climb difficult hills. Oh my God, just a few more seconds and it could have been a disaster. Everyone please be careful and look before you cross the street. He was supposed to be the savior, but he made things worse. Is this the road to hell? But to them, it is normal because they have seen this dirt road since birth, and it has not changed. And these engines still roar day and night, as if wanting to break the peace here. Is this a classy game or just a coincidence? He got off the car in a very unique style. How to move a monster without a trailer. You're looking at a cat track machine, weighing dozens of tons. Normally, you drive it up a lowboy trailer and call it a day. But not today. Today, they lift it straight up with a crane and a cable that looks way too thin for comfort. And yet, it holds. They swing the cat into position, hover it above a waiting container like it's a birthday cake, then slowly, carefully. Slide it in like a toy into a box. No scratching, no panic, no second chances. This isn't luck. This is skill. It's what happens when experience meets steel. So, what do you think of this method? Leave a comment and tell us how you'd move a beast like this. He's charging forward with great force. Let's see if he can get through. The car is homemade, but the power is really impressive. If there is still room to stack wood, he will continue to stack. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there are more than 10 women pulling a tractor together. What do you think about this admirable act? Like to support their solidarity. The boys felt so embarrassed that they had to respond to the girls with a performance, but it was a crazy act. The boys felt so embarrassed that they had to respond to the girls with a performance, but it was a crazy act. Houston, we have a dump truck problem. It was supposed to be a simple dump. Hit the lever, raise the bed, drop the load, done. But someone forgot to check the balance. And now, the entire cabin is staring at the sky. Driver, trapped like an astronaut in a rocket that never launched. His buddies down below, laughing so hard they're crying. The driver, trying not to, but yeah, he's laughing too. What else can you do when gravity says not today? If that were me, I wouldn't be laughing. I'd be calling for a clean pair of pants. Ever seen something like this on a job site? Drop your story in the comments. A disastrous trip into the woods. One lift, one mistake, a lifetime of consequences. It takes just a second, one careless lift, and thousands of volts come crashing down. On the screen, a dump truck raises its bed beneath a web of high voltage lines. Did he think he had enough clearance? Or did he never look up? Either way, the result is the same. Sparks, fire, and a moment he'll never forget. Electricity doesn't forgive mistakes. And trucks this size don't get second chances. Let this be a lesson. Always look up before you lift, because what you don't see can kill you. Drivers, have you seen this happen before? Tell us in the comments. Let's keep each other safe. Oh my God! Savior turned disaster. not mine. The property was his, so he had to save it at all costs, and he kicked it back. He was a superhero. Watch this homemade tractor cross a challenging river. Do you think it can make it? Oh, so impressive. I'm starting to like these Vietnamese magicians' homemade cars. An inexperienced driver and the price he pays. Having power but not knowing how to use it at the right time and place is the same as destruction. Is this a trend these days, guys? I see this a lot on the streets. Sorry, at that time, I was wearing headphones and enjoying the great remix music, so I didn't listen to anything. Until I got to the dealer to deliver the car, I found myself carrying a pile of scrap to deliver. Please pray for him to get through this. Really stressful. Oh, my heart stopped. This isn't just a haul, it's a high-voltage monster on the move. In China, engineering crews are transporting a giant power transformer, part of a broader mission to supply a nuclear power plant under construction. We're talking hundreds of tons, secured on a hydraulic trailer with over a dozen axles, pulled by a Mercedes Actros V8, purpose-built for loads that defy logic. But it's not alone. Multiple teams, multiple routes, multiple machines, each one moving a different component, reactor housings, condensers, turbine shells, every shipment a piece of a nuclear puzzle. And the road, muddy, narrow, unforgiving. Every turn is tight, every centimeter matters. This is more than transport. This is choreography in steel. We're kicking off today's video with an intense moment. A small Mitsubishi truck, loaded with fresh fruit, is fighting its way up a treacherous hill. It picks up speed, powering forward with everything it's got. But just as it reaches the top, disaster strikes. The overloaded truck stalls, then suddenly starts rolling backward, completely out of control. The assistant tries desperately to wedge blocks under the wheels, but it's no use. Gravity takes over, and as you can see on the screen, the truck slides back down in a heart-stopping moment. Luckily, it didn't flip over. An off-road convoy is taking on an extreme challenge. The road ahead is a battlefield of deep mud, jagged rocks, and brutal inclines. The lead vehicle powers through, making it across, but the one behind? Stuck, completely trapped. Without hesitation, a tow cable is hooked up. The tension builds as everyone watches. Tires spin, engines roar, the cable stretches tight. It looks like it might snap any second. But inch by inch, the stranded truck is pulled to safety. What an epic and nerve-wracking moment. After a long, relentless downpour, floodwaters have swallowed the road, turning it into a raging current. But that doesn't stop the convoy. One by one, the trucks push forward, engines roaring, tires slicing through the water, sending waves crashing on both sides. Onlookers gather along the roadside, watching with anticipation. Will these drivers make it across safely, or are we about to witness an unexpected disaster? Oh my God, what on earth am I looking at right now? I can't believe my eyes. A homemade tractor, so crude it looks like it belongs in a scrapyard, is hauling tons of heavy logs. But the craziest part? It's heading straight down a nearly vertical slope. This is pure insanity. My heart is pounding as I watch every second tick by. One wrong move and disaster is inevitable. What do you think about this driver's sheer nerve and determination? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this intense moment? I hope it got your heart racing just like it did mine. If you felt the thrill, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps me motivated to create even more high-quality, action-packed videos for you all. This is truly an impressive moment. A skilled female driver is maneuvering her vehicle through a tight, challenging passage with incredible precision. Every move she makes is calculated, showcasing her confidence and expertise behind the wheel. And here's a fun fact. She admitted that she'd love to date an American guy. What do you think about that? Let us know in the comments. Another heart-pounding moment. A homemade tractor, overloaded with tons of logs, is attempting to descend a steep, unforgiving slope. Do you think it will make it? Drop your predictions and thoughts in the comments. Oh no! The vehicle is tilting, slowly losing control as it slips down the hill. It's moving gradually, but the danger is real. Oh my God! The driver just jumped out. He's helplessly running after the runaway machine. Thankfully, it hits a dirt mound and comes to a stop. But looking at it, I'd say the damage is pretty serious.
ต้นแก้ว เดี๋ยวพ่อมันจริงจริง
Why are these two trucks pulling in opposite directions? Something seems off, right? At first, I had no idea what was going on. But by the end, it all made sense. The front truck was completely stuck in thick, deep mud. It couldn't move forward because the mud was just too high and slippery. That's when the second truck stepped in to pull it backward, freeing it from the trap. And then, full throttle, the driver slammed the gas, built up momentum, and bam! The truck powered through the muddy pit in an epic struggle. What do you think about this crazy situation? Let me know in the comments. A steep, rocky incline, dangerous and unforgiving. The truck is charging up with sheer power and determination. But the big question is, can it make it to the top? Oh my God, it did it! What an epic climb! The truck conquered the hill with pride, showcasing its incredible endurance and, more importantly, the fearless skills of the driver. That was one intense moment. The engine roars loudly, echoing through the air. It's a battle of man and machine against the unforgiving mud. The driver pushes the truck to its limits, desperately trying to break free. Thick black smoke rises, tires spin wildly, and mud flies everywhere. Will the truck make it out? This is a tough one to call. What's your prediction? Let me know in the comments. And here comes an even tougher challenge. The truck roars like a beast, pushing its limits against the brutal terrain. The engine growls, tires grip the ground with all their might, showcasing sheer endurance and power. Will it conquer this obstacle? Let's find out. Without the incredible support of the local villagers, this off-road truck would still be stuck in that deep mud pit. But thanks to their unbreakable teamwork and kindness, they came together and pushed the vehicle through the obstacle in a truly spectacular way. Smash that like button to show some love for these amazing people. Even though this slope is slippery and incredibly challenging, these trucks power through like absolute beasts. No surprise there, they're built in Europe, the heart of industrial engineering. Raw power, durability, and top-tier performance, all on full display right here. Indonesia's infamous death slope, a place littered with the wreckage of vehicles that never made it through. And today, another victim joins the list. A small Mitsubishi truck from Japan.
Terus habis tuh. Lepaskan remnya.
Oh my God! This is absolutely insane! A massive, raging river with muddy floodwaters rushing downstream, and this guy, he's actually driving straight into it. This is beyond reckless. Will the truck make it across, or is this a disaster in the making? Hold your breath and watch this intense moment unfold. Thank God. After those nerve-wracking moments, the truck has finally made it across the river safely. Unbelievable. That was a heart-pounding, high-stakes gamble, but what an incredible outcome. Engines roaring, mud flying everywhere. These two beasts are pulling each other through the deep mud with incredible power. Can you guess what kind of trucks these are? Where do they come from? Take a guess, because they look seriously tough and unstoppable. This hill is brutal on a normal day, but with today's heavy rain, it's absolutely unforgiving. And here comes a massive truck, struggling to climb to the top. But wait, it's losing control. The tires spin helplessly, and suddenly, bam! The truck slides backward and flips over, crashing onto the roadside like the rusting wrecks of those that came before it. What a terrifying sight. And here we go again. This one is even more horrifying. The truck doesn't just flip, it rolls over multiple times, slamming into the ground with gut-wrenching force. Oh my God, this is insane. In just seconds, it's reduced to a twisted wreck. These two men have spent their entire lives in a remote village, never once stepping outside since the day they got married. Their wives have been very protective, making sure they never wander too far from home. But today, everything changes. They've packed their bags, planned their great escape, and are determined to finally see the world beyond their village. And as you can see on the screen, their mission is off to a hilarious start. Will they make it? Drop a like and cheer for these two brave adventurers. Oh my God, what is happening here? Is this guy out of his mind? How could he even think about driving into a raging flood? Look over there. Another truck is coming from the opposite side, trying to cross in the other direction. I see people frantically waving, shouting for him to turn back. There's no way his truck can handle the force of that current. Thankfully, he finally listens and decides to retreat before it's too late. But what about the other truck? Oh no. It's slowly getting swept away by the raging waters. This is insane. The flood has completely swallowed it up. What an intense and terrifying moment. Oh my God! A massive storm just rolled in, ripping everything in its path. The fierce winds are shaking his container truck violently, but he refuses to give up. Without hesitation, he jumps out and grabs onto the truck with all his strength, desperately trying to keep it from being blown away. To him, this isn't just a truck. It's his entire livelihood, his hard work, his everything. Truly admirable. Drop a like and send him your best wishes. Let's hope both he and his truck make it through this storm safely.
Đại cả đấy.
And just like that, we've reached the end of today's video. If these moments had you on the edge of your seat or gave you an adrenaline rush, don't hesitate to smash that like button. And make sure to hit subscribe so you won't miss any of the thrilling stories coming up next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.